It was worth tracking her down and stalking her. Not stalking her, I mean journalism.
His words, not mine. Okay. And I've honestly contemplated doing this video because Troyce has a lot of people following. Like, I think on his main channel, he has like over 500K, and I don't even know how many people are following Maryjane Byarm at this point. I don't want no smoke, but also this is not a safe space for Maryjane, so let's get that clear. I'm not here to kiss anybody's butt. If you're looking here for that, this is not the place, okay? Again, I just want to reiterate, this video is in no way, shape, or form a defense to MJ, like, at all. Actually, I fully believe the victims, and I honestly feel for them because I have 100% been there. Being scammed is not fun at all. Okay, but I honestly want to say that I feel like what Troyce did was creepy. That's kind of what I mainly want to focus on. Not necessarily, well, I'm obviously going to talk about the drama and fill y'all in, but I just want to like reiterate that I kind of don't feel good about what they did. Basically, Troyce's video is like 50 minutes long, so I'm gonna give you like the gist of it, right? Okay, so Maryjane Byarm is this black traveler girl on YouTube that gained a lot of popularity when she posted a video about her getting her hair done in China, which I've actually seen that video, and I think that's around the time I subscribed to her. Shortly after, I just wasn't, like, her content wasn't really hitting for me, so I might be a dead subscriber to her at this point. But she's a travel blogger, and a lot of people follow her. A lot of people are aspiring to be here. I think she's traveled to like over 100 countries or so. And just, you know, a lot of people, when they see something like a black woman doing something aspirational, they just want to be a part of that. And I think she saw that opportunity to start offering travel tours. So these travel tours, she would be like, oh, sign up, da 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 da, and send me money, and I will book everything for you. And I honestly don't want to get too much into why you shouldn't send strangers money on the internet. I feel like this other video that I will put somewhere on the screen and also link in the description box talks about that enough. People would send her money. They would send her passport pictures, which again, I'm not blaming the victims, but we gotta be a little smarter out here. We gotta be a little smarter out here, okay? People sent her money. And if you're gonna send money to a stranger, which again, do not do, at least send it through a way that you know you can get your money back. Like, have them send you an invoice on PayPal. What is it? Which Venmo recently started offering business payments, which essentially makes the business liable for whatever they offer you. That is one way to send money. Just make sure there is a trail that you can still get your money back somehow, or at least an easy way to file a claim. Because if you send money through Zelle, you can't file a claim to nobody. So people did that. They sent her money. Some of them didn't get their money back. Some of them, I think I heard one story about one girl, she like went, but Maryjane only booked one night for her. So like the other nights, she was like basically out of luck. Other people didn't get the full extent of what they paid for, and they're like, where did my money go? Like, what is my money paying for if I'm only getting like partial of this? And she was out here scamming people. And one by one, victims started like sharing their stories online and trying to get attention because they're not hearing back from Maryjane. So this is kind of where I think Troyce comes in, and he heard about this because I feel like a few YouTubers have touched on this at this point. And I don't know what video Maryjane posted, but she posted a video that had her email, like a laptop, open in the background. And email that was open in the background had her TripAdvisor or like Expedia or Kayak, one of those sites, confirmation number there. So like all Troyce did, which was perfectly legal, I will give them that. All Troyce did was screenshot that, enhance the picture, and got MJ's like confirmation number. So then Troyce knew exactly where she was traveling to next, because apparently she books all her stuff on like Expedia or something, and that's why she has so many rewards and is able to like take advantage of stuff like that. So again, how they obtained the information number is completely legal. No one's denying that, okay? But I mean, that is still very much creepy in my opinion, and that I'm like, it is creepy. I'm not gonna lie, like it is creepy. I'm sorry. And people in the comments seem to like love like the whole messiness of it, love like calling it like FBI private investigator da 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 da. I'm just like, okay, I guess. So then Troyce like had this whole plan of pulling up on MJ, and I mean, I'll get to my opinions on that too in a second, because they went to MJ's hotel and had some trouble finding her at first, and eventually he saw her on the street or something, but like didn't run into her at the hotel. So then Troyce went to a beauty store like Sephora or Ulta or something. I think it was in Amsterdam this took place, and went to one of those stores, got like a brown foundation that like would look like it would be MJ's shade, went to the front desk at the hotel and was like, oh, I think this black girl dropped this foundation. What room is she in? Or something like that. Essentially like getting MJ's information by like plotting in that way. And then Troyce used that information and moved his room, I think either next to MJ or across. I think it was across from MJ. So like using that whole scheme, he used to get MJ's room number essentially. So then he kind of stalked MJ and waiting for her to come out of her room so he can like confront her about all these scammings that she's been doing. Which, I mean, if you're scamming people, just be ready for people to pull up on you, okay? I don't really know what to say to that. So they deviated a whole plan. We're talking about how they're going to be like da 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 da, like just coming out at her, and then multiple days pass. I feel like this took place over a week. I might be wrong, but essentially this was more than just like a couple days. This was at least somewhere around a week or so, and nothing really happened. Troyce was not able to run into MJ organically, so on their last day, before Troyce left Amsterdam, I think it was, he knocked on MJ's door and was like, oh, I'm a huge fan. Wearing a disguise. Again, wearing a disguise. He like wore a wig and like a hat and like glasses. Yeah. And he is like, oh, do you want some water, to MJ? Which I'm like, girl, stranger danger. Stranger danger. Why is a stranger knocking on your door, offering you a bottle of water, and you're opening the door and taking it? Are you okay? Like, surely for someone that's traveled around the world, you know better to be doing that. But she opened the door, she accepted the water, and I think Troyce also asked for a hug or something like that. And then Troyce, before he left, he was like, oh, I wrote this letter for you, and hands her a piece of paper that was actually just an application to Subway. Which is kind of funny, but at the same time, like, you said you're going to confront her. But what seems to be the case is you guys scary. No offense. I get it. You're in a foreign country. You don't want to cause a scene. But that's what you came here for. So, to me, people were like, oh yeah, you got her, you got her. Where did she get got? I'm very confused. So that was just but maybe I'm just a little annoyed that I watched a 50-minute, almost an hour-long video for you to just hand her a Subway application. It wasn't even open. He folded it. So she did, and he was like, oh, don't read it till I leave. So this was your whole plan? This is why you spent money to go all the way to Amsterdam? To hand her an application to Subway? To me, that's not pulling up on her. That was not pulling up on her. That did nothing for the victims at all. At all. I'm sorry, that did nothing for them. What? And again, I'm not like being on the side of MJ. That is not what I'm doing. I'm just saying, like, That was not pulling up on somebody. That was a prank. That was a prank. That was not pulling up. That was not confronting her on the behalf of victims. The victims really got nothing out of that. I'm just saying. I mean, was it low-key funny? Sure. But that wasn't journalism, because if you're a journalist, you go to school for it. I mean, just ask Addison Rae when she was like, oh, I went to journalism school for 3 months. Look at where it got me. And everybody roasted her, because, like, that's hella disrespectful. Journalism is very much a career that should be respected. But the other thing journalists do is they disclose they're journalists. And if they don't do it the second they like approach their interviewee, they eventually do it at some point before they come out with their findings. Because it's kind of illegal to record somebody without them knowing and then publish it and like do an expose on them. Now, am I saying what Troyce did was illegal? That is not up for me to decide, but that was not journalism. That's the only thing I kind of wanted to get off my chest, because people were like hyping it up and I was just like, yeah, it's messy, it's funny, I guess, but y'all calling it by the wrong name. So now that we've gotten to what happened, here are some tips regarding online safety and traveling, because I think these are very important for people that look up to MJ and aspire to travel, but also the fact that this all happens. I just feel like I have to come out with like some information regarding how to stay safe on the internet, because it'd be scary out here in these streets, okay? People clearly can find very, very, very sensitive information about you with very little information that you give them. So my first tip is to be aware of your surroundings. And this doesn't only apply to when you're crossing the street. I mean, when you're posting a picture, make sure, one, if you're posting a picture like on your story or something, make sure you've left that area within like 30 minutes, at least 30 minutes before posting, in my opinion. Because people can easily find you if you post. Your stories are real time, so people will know where you are in real time. Second, when it's not like a story and it's just a picture, be aware of reflections, mirrors, windows, because those can reflect landmarks, monuments, anything that people can distinctly like Google or look up, they can tell. Because there's this one story of this girl from Japan. I think she was an idol or something. And a stalker found her by seeing her subway station in the reflection of her eye. The reflection of her eye. Like, the other thing is that like, they low-key, did you guys see that? How people low-key doxed the lo-fi homework girl? They doxed her. They were like, oh, look at those monuments in her window. We know exactly where that is. My second tip is to go on the website Have I Been Pawned and put in any emails that you're currently using. And if your email address ends up being compromised, I recommend at least changing your password. That's like the bare minimum. But for me personally, if I see that an email that I use has been compromised, especially on a site that I don't really use that much, then I just go ahead and look for the support team, email them, hey, can you delete my account, and make sure my account gets deleted. My last tip regarding online safety is that to make sure that you're not using the same handle across all social media platforms. And if you're like a business brand or like a personal brand, then obviously this doesn't really apply to you. But if you're just using social media for personal reasons, definitely that really closes the trail. If someone ends up getting your account information, such as like a password or something like that, and you use the same password across platforms, if they don't know what your other accounts are, that really, really helps. And if you can't afford to travel, I have a tip for you. First, use Airfordable. That is one option that I've heard of. I have almost used it before, but then ended up going a different way and just using my credit card. But if you don't want to put something necessarily on your credit card all in one go, Affordable is a way that you can basically travel on layaway. There are also airlines that do this on their own without an external service, such as Delta, Frontier, or maybe Spirit. Sorry, I haven't personally done this, so I just looked up airlines that did this, but Delta, Spirit, United, American, Southwest, Allegiant, and Alaska. Those are ones that I've heard of, like, I think through TikTok and stuff like that. My second travel tip is that not all discount airlines suck. Spirit Airlines, you can take a seat, because I'm not talking about you, baby girl, okay? You deserve, I'm sorry. I don't like Spirit at all. And just everything that's going on within the news affirms why. Let me not say something that'll get me in trouble, but me and Spirit are not homegirls, okay? However, Frontier, I think Frontier does the job. She gets it done. She gets you from point A to B. And if that's all you're looking for, then I think Frontier is good. I also heard about Breeze Airlines, which is new. I haven't personally used them, so I can't really vouch. But I've heard that it's a decent airline, especially for a budget airline, and that the founder of maybe JetBlue started it. My third tip is to use skip flags. And if you don't know what skip flags is, it's basically like when a flight has a layover and it's actually a longer flight, but the longer flight is cheaper than if you're flying to that place directly. So what I mean by that is, like, let's say you're going from New York to LA, but there's a layover in Detroit, and Detroit's your final destination. So if you're actually trying to get to Detroit, New York to Detroit is like $300, right? New York to LA with a layover in Detroit is, for some unknown reason, $250. Skip flag is going to show you that LA flight and be like, do not check your bag. But if you fly from New York to LA with the layover in Detroit and get off of Detroit, we ain't gonna say nothing. That's basically skip flags. Period. Very short story time. If you ever fly United, which I am not a fan of United, I don't like her, we are not good. United is an airline where if you fly basic economy, they're gonna make you check in at the airport. And if you don't have clear, if you don't have TSA pre-check, which I actually do have clear and it's kind of expensive, just FYI, you're gonna need to get to the airport early or else you could possibly miss your flight. So I would recommend getting to the airport on time, okay? And if you have a bag, you're gonna have to pay for it. Or you could put your bag to the side and then let the airline agent say you don't have a bag, and then just pick up your bag afterwards and head to security and mind your business. But I didn't say that. That somehow just came up in your head. I didn't say that, but maybe you thought of that. And maybe you finessed, but I didn't say that. So if you ever fly basic economy with United, but you have a bag, I didn't say nothing. Did MJ bring this on herself? Anyways. Who's that girl? Who's that girl? It's Bora.